a federal job guarantee is what it sounds like, right? It is the federal government guaranteeing that anybody who wants to work but can't find a job anywhere else in the economy can always be assured a job, right? At a basic wage and benefit package. So think of a living wage and benefit package. And so it is a standing job offer. People hear about healthcare. We hear about sometimes a public option in healthcare. This is like a public option in the labor market, right? It's available to everyone. It doesn't go away. It's a standing offer. If for any reason you should want to be in that program, you can be in that program. Maybe you have an employer who constantly messes with your hours. You don't know from one day to the next, what days you're supposed to show up for work and what times, and you're trying to arrange childcare and it's just a nightmare and you're making minimum wage or whatever. And you say, maybe I'm being harassed at work. Maybe, for any reason you want into that program, you have a job in that program, federally funded, locally administered. So you ask about how it relates to climate. What we imagine is that the jobs are oriented broadly around building a care economy. So you're caring for people, caring for planet, caring for your community. In one way or another, all of the jobs should be oriented to do contribute in one of those three ways. So, your imagination is kind of the limit. I write some about this in the book. I co-authored a report a few years ago for the Levy Economics Institute. I think it was called Guaranteed Employment, a Pathway to Full Employment. There are 5 or so of us authoring that. We get into a lot of detail there about the kinds of jobs. And another MMT economist named Pavlina Cherneva has a book that came out around the same time as my book. Hers is called The Case for a Federal Job Guarantee. So I just want to point those out because people who want more than I can do in a short time here might find it interesting. But, the communities themselves, they decide on the kinds of jobs that they want performed. You think about, Pavlina will sometimes talk about invasive species. And, if some people could be responsible for monitoring invasive species. And why is that of benefit? Well, because farmers' crops feed the rest of us. And if they are struggling with invasive species and that sort of thing, climate, tree planting, we can think of 1,000,001 different things that people might propose that are valuable, that would be valuable to the community, that help us shore up coastal lines, environmental cleanup, community gardens. You can have neighborhood beautification projects, and the sky is sort of the limit. Performing the arts, when FDR was president, and he had a huge unemployment problem on his hands. And he came up with a similar idea. And he said, we should just directly put people to work. We should employ them. And so we got an alphabet soup of jobs programs. We got the Works Progress Administration, the Civilian Conservation Corps, the National Youth Administration, a jobs program for young people. The CCC was mostly environmental, oriented around environmental concerns. But workers in the WPA program did everything from building and construction oriented things to oral histories, recording oral histories, performance art, street performances, theater. You can be very, very inclusive. And the idea is to take people as they are and where they are, right? And to fit the job to the person.